pointed at me. That's cool. Can you see me? I might just turn one light on. There you go, so you can see me. Okay, so are you recording it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Follow on the recording if you're watching this. Okay, so laying out your essay professionally. Like I say, you could use this in other lessons, you can other subjects. You can also use this when you get to university as well, this sort of layout. So these are the 4 things that you should have in the layout of your essay document. Okay, so start with your front cover. It should take up a whole page. Page 2 is the contents page. Page 3, the essay begins. And then the last page should be a bibliography. Okay, so your front cover, I've done an example of basically, imagine that's your A4 page. This is really an example of how it should look. Include the centre name, Elliott Hudson College, the centre number just underneath that, and then if you write EPQ 2017, then write your question. Okay, I've basically stolen Anna's a little bit there. And then a picture is always nice. It grabs the examiner's attention. That's just to do with obviously your IVF of an egg being implanted. Then you've got your name, your candidate number, and your supervisor's name, which is me. So that's your first page. You're going to be doing that today, just to get it looked at. So your contents page is your next page. These will be different numbers depending on what page obviously it is. You can start the first page of your essay as page 1. You actually do it so the page numbers are titled at the bottom of the page as well. Again, it's just easier for the examiner to follow. And I've split it up just like your essay is split up as well. So you have your introduction, what page it comes on, your sub-question 1. Could be that your sub-question 1 is on the same page as your introduction, that's fine. You put page 1, sub-question 1. And I've actually put the title of the sub-question 1 in there with it. It just, by the examiner seeing that on your contents page, they'll be like, wow, this is like brilliantly well structured. I can see exactly what the essay is going to look at. You've got your conclusion at the end. Your bibliography is obviously on the last page of your formal essay, and I've also got a guide on here how to do your bibliography. Right at the very end, after your essay, it's not officially part of your essay, it's your appendix. And again, you can have a whole page that just says on it, appendix, and behind it, in your appendix, you can put all the different documents that will help you get extra marks. So things like your yearly plan, your essay guide, your research log, any questionnaires you've done. This all goes in the appendix, and again, on your appendix page you can have a nice little contents page, but don't worry about appendix yet. We are going to look at appendix again in a few weeks' time, but for now this is just the layout of your actual essay. So this is how you do your contents page. So, bibliography. This is how a bibliography should look, and this is at the end of your essay. So you've done your front page, your contents page, you've written your essay, and after your essay you have a page that will look like this. You will have a lot more resources than this, okay? Really, you need to be having a very minimum of 15 resources. Yeah.
Where do you put your Google books? In the bibliography, or?
You can do them on either, really. If you know the author of it, you could, if you want to do a separate bit as Google books, that's fine, because they are actual books. I think it would be good to put them in your bibliography. It'll bulk out your bibliography bit as well. So your bibliography is your books. Your webography is the list of where you get all the different websites you've used. You must include this at the back. If you don't include your bibliography at the back, you will be accused basically of plagiarism. By putting down where you got your resources from, you're saying, I'm not plagiarising, I'm referencing where I got all the information from that I've used. There is a correct way to do bibliographies. In fact, there's several correct ways. You've got ones that are called Harvard referencing, Oxford style referencing, but we're using the easier version, which is your Harvard referencing. And on here is a complete guide on how you should accurately do it. So, how to do a bibliography. Take all the bibliography details from your research log. So if you've been doing your research log, you should have been writing down exactly where you've got the research from. Put them into either the bibliography of books or webography for internet sites. Put them in alphabetical order by the surname. The surname always goes first. If you don't know who wrote the internet article, then include the company website, so NHS Direct or the Guardian website, stuff like that. Okay, so this is how to write a bibliography order for books. So I've done it step by step. You write the author, the surname and then the initials, so I've given you an example there, Kane, followed by a comma, M, and then a dot. That is exactly how you do it. The name in the book's in italics, so I've just written EPQ for all because I'm a geek. The company who published it could be Oxford Press, for example. The city it was been published in London. The year it was published in, 2008. So altogether, it will look like that underneath. Make sure you use capitals for names, titles, places, particularly the titles of the book. You do it like that as well. All this information is found in the inside cover of any book, and it should also be the case for Google Books as well. You should be able to find all the information on there for it. This style of referencing you can use, let's say you can use it at university, use it in any other subject as well. It's standard Harvard referencing. Okay. For websites, it's slightly different. If you know the author, put the author first. Again, surname and initial. If you don't, put the company. Then the name of the particular website in italics. You'll always have, whether it's The Guardian, if they've done a particular headline, write that in. For example, I've done, is IVS financially viable? Again, so that's like almost like a title of book, but a title of that particular page. The overall website you are on, so whether it's NHS Direct, the BBC, the date it was created, that normally tells you where it was created right down at the bottom of the page. If it doesn't, then leave it blank. Then you copy and paste the actual web link and then the date you visited. So I've given you underneath 2 examples for whether or not I know the author. This one is if I don't know the author, so I've just put The Guardian. The one underneath I have put the author down. So it's in this order. So when you get round to doing bibliography, use this PowerPoint and use this video that we've created that will be on projects on eSkills for you to use. Okay, what I'm going to show you now, I think is that the last one? Okay, right. How about when you actually have to reference a book or a website in your essay? So, if you write a quote or you reference a resource you have used, you simply refer which one you've used by writing the author and the year published in brackets after it. So you don't have to put the full website or who published it, you simply put then brackets, holder, 2008. So for example, The Guardian, this is if it's in the middle of a sentence. The Guardian website did a really interesting article on IVF treatment that shows a direct correlation. I'll just put in brackets, holder, 2016. Because then in the bibliography at the back of the essay, you've got the full actual website. So you don't need to include it in the bulk of your essay. If you don't know the author, if it's a website, just put The Guardian 2016. That's fine. If you're writing a quote in your essay, so you've got a full quote that someone has said, whether it's from a questionnaire or whether it's taken from a book, can you please write your quotes in italics, but leave a line. So leave a line from your paragraph, leave a nice space. Write your quote, again do the brackets, could be something I said, then you'd write Kane, 2017, close brackets. Leave another line and then start your paragraph again. Spread your work out, it makes it look nice and neat. So that is how you reference a book or a website within your essay. It makes it nice and easy because you're not having to do loads of, you don't need to do footnotes. Those of you don't, it's just not needed because you've got all your bibliography at the end of the essay. As long as you've got it there at the end, don't waste your time doing footnotes and stuff like that because you don't need to. Okay, whilst you're all here, the last thing I'm going to show you is, I'm just going to check that you all know your eSkills login and where everything is. Are you alright just still filming it just a little bit for us, Joseph? So, into eSkills, you can get onto it from home. You simply Google Elliot Hudson eSkills, and it will, the first link will take you to a link for this website. So all you do is you log on by logging on to the same password and username you use for your emails for your computer at school. Okay, up at the top you'll have projects. You should all have projects for other subjects as well. The one that you need for me, it says Miss Kane's EPQ. These are all files on absolutely everything we've done in class. It will have this on, it will have the PowerPoint and bibliography. I've put on here the best things about that I found on the shared area, so example full mark essays. Like I said, this would be on that just created, and every PowerPoint for every lesson I do is on here, so you've got all the information you can access at home. Okay, make sure you're using this. Has anyone, before we stop the recording, has anyone got any questions for how to lay out your thing? Okay, what I'd like you to do before you do anything today, please, you can pause if you want.